welcome back to SGLIVE. We've got Resident Evil 7 here, being run by Marphoria, and we got commentator Kat. I'm host Troy Athens here still. So,
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Yes, this is Resident Evil 7. We'll be running on New Game Easy, which is, one of the faster categories of this game, but it's super fun. We promise. We love it. That's why we're running it for you today. You notice here it says Biohazard 7. That's because we'll be running the Japanese censored version because it saves 25 seconds from, because we get to skip some gore. Japan's not a huge fan of decapitation and things like that, so we are indeed running the Japanese censored version. And,
save the limbs, save the time.
Exactly. And yes, with me on commentary is my good friend Kat Link.
Hello, nice to see everyone tonight.
She also runs this game, and she's fantastic, so we have her here tonight. So it's going to be nice, it's going to be cozy, and yes, it is a scary game, but don't worry, it's gonna be a good time. Alrighty, time will start when I hit the difficulty. So 3, 2, 1, and go.
Let's go. All right,
we are off.
Hey Mark.
What's up?
Hey baby.
Oh.
that was well timed.
So you notice, in Resident Evil 7, you cannot skip cutscenes. There are no cutscenes that you can skip at all. There is one.
Except for one.
There is one. There is one. But for the most part, all of these cutscenes, you have to sit through. You have to watch. Every time you reset your run, you have to see lovely Miss Mia Winters right here say, "Hey, baby," to you. So
the amount of times you have to hear it is astounding, but at the same time, the cutscenes do give you a nice little break for your wrists, where you can stretch and chill and maybe take a pee break.
Yeah, well, that's actually one of the reasons I do enjoy running this game, is because it's one of the slower paced Resident Evil speedruns. There's quite a handful of, the slower paced runs. Some of the OG games are pretty slower paced. Resident Evil Remake 1 is pretty slow paced. This one is as well. So, slower pace means you can just kind of chill, you can relax, talk to your chat, and then when you have to do the cutscenes, yeah, like Kat said, you can, have a bathroom break or automatic snack break, something like that. So
we all have those. I think there's like 2 cutscenes pretty much where it's like, yeah, I got time. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go to the washroom.
Yeah. This is one of them. It's about a 2.5-minute cutscene. There's one kind of in the middle of the game where it's also kind of a long cutscene, and yeah, you get a few of these. You have at least 3, and then there's like a couple in between where you're just kind of relaxing and chilling. So we love it. We enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now, you may be wondering what's going on. So our wife Mia, who said "Hey, baby" to us at the beginning, she's been missing for 3 years. And
3 years?
Yeah, she's been missing for 3 years, and her dear husband Ethan here has gotten contacted by her and is now going to rescue her in the middle of nowhere.
Without any backup.
No backup.
He's a very smart man.
No backup, no cell phone. Literally just his vintage sports car with bad gas mileage, and here he is.
No, not even a weapon, nothing.
Usual horror movie tropes.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Of course. You gotta feel left with nothing. You gotta feel vulnerable a little bit until you get a shotgun or something. Then you're fine.
That's true. Don't worry, we get to pick up an arsenal of weapons that will essentially keep the entire run. So. No need to go to item boxes or anything like that, except for the mandatory times you have to go to the item box. But other than that, we're just kind of freeform. We're grabbing what we pick up and don't need to put them away or anything.
Yeah, so the difference between New Game and New Game Plus would be like New Game, you literally only get the use of a shotgun and a pistol, whereas New Game Plus, you get circular saw, an Albert gun, infinite ammo. It's pretty nice, but I find that New Game is definitely a lot more laid back and a little less intense, just because New Game Plus is super optimized, which New Game is getting there now.
Yeah, it is. We had quite a few, like in the RE7 community, the New Game Plus speedrun is usually the one we recommend to beginner runners, just because, you know, all you have to do is just worry about movement and mainly, like, yeah, basically your
menuing, movement, pretty basic stuff.
Yeah, just making sure all that's pretty optimized.
Yeah. So you notice that Mar did a reset there. So the reset points are basically like a stamina reboost, like essentially a stamina reset. So essentially, once you reset at certain points, it will actually allow Ethan to go faster, which is pretty cool. It is nice.
Yeah, basically his movement speed gets reset. So because when he at a few points in the game, his movement slows down, but when you do your retries there, you know, it resets to where it should be, and you can continue going fast. And
there's certain points where it's absolutely like mandatory that you need to do it, unless you want to go at a snail's pace.
I mean, we're already kind of going at a snail's pace, but we could go at a slower pace.
We're out on a light jog.
That's right.
In the sewers.
This is actually I was gonna say, this is actually underneath a crawl space underneath a house. It's a good old Louisiana.
Basement. Yeah. Isn't there like no basements there?
There shouldn't be basements in Louisiana. It's too close to the coastline.
But here we are.
Here we are. This is what you get for getting a basement in Louisiana, guys.
Get a good old basement filled with water. It's fine.
So right here, we're actually, that's one of the first skips in the game. We look at the wall and keep walking through, and it skips a body popping up. So yeah, normally that's a jump scare. It tosses you back, and Ethan gets all surprised and goes underwater and all that stuff. But if you just aim your camera at the wall and keep traversing by, then it skips that whole thing.
It's pretty nice. Because it does kind of waste a bit of time having to go through that jump scare. Oh, hey, Mia, how you doing?
What's up? All right.
Hey, baby.
We found Mia. We found Mia. We can go home now, right?
Yeah, let's just go back the way we came and get out of here.
Let's go. We got the wife. We got our car. Let's go. It's time to leave.
So we got our wife. Now let's go protect our life.
Nice rhyme. Well, as you can see, we're not going home. Mia needs to take us somewhere. So
she wants us to go the opposite way of out.
Couldn't tell you why.
Yeah. So we are playing Mar specifically, obviously, is playing the game in Japanese, which is kind of like you don't need to speedrun this game in any other language other than English or whatever language you prefer. Often we like to choose different languages because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a point where the Japanese language did save more time. By 1 second, to be exact.
Right. Just don't run on English. English is the slowest in terms of, you know, the audio. Now, you did see one of the first things I did here as soon as we grabbed Mia is I deleted our email and then I moved my cursor. So RE7, you know, just like most other games, has a little thing called menuing. So menuing is super, super important in Resident Evil 7. It is something that we stress to all runners, and it's something that all runners always have, you know, in their back pocket, and they're always on their toes with it. So the menu here operates in real time. So you see this cutscene's going on, Mia's talking, but we can open up our inventory, we can move items if we want to, move our cursor and all that stuff. You can, I was gonna say, hang on. You can observe things and things like that. But yeah, the most important thing about it is that, you know, you move your cursor. And when we leave our inventory and then come back, our cursor is right where we left it. So this is very nice because it sets us up for future interactions. So I make sure that my cursor is over our bolt cutters because as soon as we have to use them, I just spam confirm. I don't even have to think about it. So there's lots of times you'll see me open up my inventory and move my cursor or rearrange items, and that's for a purpose. That's because we're planning for our next steps.
Yeah. Which is honestly my favorite inventory for any Resident Evil game.
Yeah, same here.
Because even with the newer remakes that just came out in the last like 2 years, they have like it basically the cursor will go back to one of the main spots at the like top right or top left corner or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the biggest pain because it's like, oh, the item I need to use, I need to bring it all the way to that corner. And instead, RE7, you can manage your inventory and just leave the cursor where you need it, which is so nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's probably one of the cooler aspects of running this game because, like Kat said, pretty much all the other Resident Evil games don't have that type of trait in that speedrun. So it's really cool. We think it's pretty unique to this game, and we love it.
Let's hope RE8 has it too.
we are praying to the cosmos that RE8 has the similar inventory management. Oh God, Mia, what's wrong?
Hi Mia, how you doing, honey?
What's up?
She's having a day. You know, she's been stuck here for 3 years. She's having quite some time.
She just wants to show us her pearly whites.
She just wants a hug, I think, too, with a knife.
Great. All right, so we're getting attacked by Mia. It's okay. We have to. This is all scripted. It's we're just going with the flow here.
Yeah, so we do have to. So you can struggle here a little bit. You can actually force her, like kind of push her away a little bit, but instead we just accept the sweet embrace of a knife going through us and go towards death.
Yeah, we go towards the danger, not away from it.
Yeah. No, she's calmed down. You know, she just needed a moment.
She needed to vent, you know.
It's been a long 3 years.
Yeah. Probably the first, human besides some of these other people that she's seen. So she's had a lot to say.
I would too. I mean, stuck in a basement that shouldn't be there for 3 years. Ooh.
All right, so we're gonna try and get Mia up on the earliest possible frame here, and this one's a little bit tricky. Everyone kind of does it a little differently. Trying to see. All right, we did it. Cool. Could be a little tricky. Kat, feel free to explain the goodness that is the axe. Damage tied to frame rate.
So, in this game, the highest frame possible is what we want to achieve. And the reason for that is because when you swing the axe will do more damage than just like one hit. So basically it's like if the axe was swinging 50 times. So essentially we would be causing 10 times the damage versus on lower frame rate where it would just be one hit.
Yeah, so for that particular fight, we want to make sure to do a lot of heavy swings into her. A lot of the top runners can defeat her with like one heavy swing. It takes me like a couple, but still, we kill her nice and quick, so she's over and done and out of here.
Kill her, quote unquote. But this is basically the only section where you really want the highest frames possible. You don't need higher frame rate anywhere else. It's just the beginning guest house section.
Right. If you see the blue number in the top left corner, that is my current frame rate. So it's just something, I always have just to make sure.
Yeah, and that's also why the game kind of looks like doo-doo a little bit, because we basically nerf the graphics a ton just because obviously the less processing the game has to do, the higher the frame rate. You get how it works. But that's pretty much why the game doesn't look as great as it actually can. This game is beautiful.
Yeah, this is when you play it your first time, all of them settings are cranked up. It's very terrifying, very scary. So, but no, when we speedrun it, we just crank all that down, except for shadows. We don't crank down the shadows because
we need those.
we need shadows for the shadow puzzles. But everything else, potato graphics. Good. Nope. We're fine with the potato graphics.
Also, we're going to be seeing our first instance of not really why we run censored version, but you'll see the first instance of the censored version. And that's Mia with her lovely little chainsaw here.
Oh no! Ow!
What happened? Oh, nothing.
So, in the uncensored version of the game, aka the default version of the game, Ethan gets his hand cut off, but in the Japanese censored version, we get to keep it.
And our hand's a little deformed. It likes to sink in on itself because it's not supposed to be there, right? So the
Right.
game's having a little trouble understanding that, but we do get to save our limbs, which is a nice little bonus.
That's true. And also, what's a funny meme is that when your hand does get cut off, you can pick it up and have it in your inventory. But in the censored version, you can't pick up your hands, so we won't be giving Ethan a hand.
No hand.
All right, I'm
Nope.
gonna go into ultra focus mode for this. If you'd like to explain a little bit about Mia too.
Thing. So Mia too, basically Mara's going to be setting up right here, and she's going to be setting up for a one hit. That is the ultimate goal, and she got it! Woo! So remember when I said that the axe is tied to frame rate, and then the higher the frame rate, the more hits one hit can do? That is why. That is exactly why we have it, and that is exactly why it is absolutely necessary to have it. That was very clean. Good job. I'm so proud.
Thank you. Yeah, it's always such a satisfying sound because to me it sounds like when you were a kid and you put a card on your bicycle spokes and it made like that sound.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can basically hear the 10 times amount of hits that normally would be.
Yeah,
it's a very satisfying, it's such a satisfying trick to pull off if you can do it right. And it takes a lot of time and practice to set that up properly, because if you move a little too much to the right, too much to the left, you can not get the one hit, and you'll have to hit her maybe two times, 3 times, which is unfortunate. Nobody wants that. But when you get the one hit, whoo, so good.
Yeah. And you also, like, the high frame rate isn't super, it makes it easier, but, if you don't have, like, a super powerful computer or anything like that, that's still okay. You can still get the one hit. You just have to pay attention more to your setup, and, your setup, it's all in the setup there. You have to make sure you're not too close to her there. You have to make sure that your movement into her is fine and that you're swinging at the right time. It's all in your setup and in your timing. And
yeah.
Having the higher frame rate, of course, makes it easier. But yeah, if you're practicing it and your frame rate isn't as high, that's totally okay. You can still get it. Trust me.
You'll struggle a little bit though. But yeah, that was very good. Also, my favorite scene, one of my 2 favorite scenes in the game.
Yeah, we get introduced to the Baker family. Very demented, very deranged group of individuals here, giving us a feast of organs.
And also the fact that Lucas here keeps his arm.
Yeah, his arm doesn't get cut off. I mean, it's supposed to, but it doesn't. So it's just sitting there all mangled.
Just a little blood.
But this is a great scene, a wonderful scene, because, as a majority of you guys know, RE7 was released in VR, so, Capcom kept that in mind when they were developing this game, so you could definitely tell the VR influence was right here, stuff in your face and all that.
Yeah, really, really getting up in there. And this scene, it took me a while to get used to it. Just the sound of the going through his cheek and onto his teeth, and it is not a pleasant sound, but
ooh, no.
It took me a bit to get used to that, but the scene is still fantastic. I love to reenact it every time I run it.
Yeah, it's a super iconic scene in this game, and it never gets old. As many times as we've seen this, it never gets old.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're kind of strapped to a chair here, but we can easily knock ourselves out of it, so I'm going to go into focus mode again. Kat, feel free to explain good old Jack hallway.
Not a problem. Alright, so the Jack hallway. Basically, we need to go at this at a certain angle. So Jack's going to be coming out here, and when he comes out, he has the potential of grabbing us. So if we go at it at a particular angle, he completely misses. Which is great, unless he gets in the way, which can happen. But we're just out of here, no problem. Block it, go right by it, and we're out of there. There is a chance where Jack can grab us, which kind of sucks, but yeah. So basically we want to trigger Jack to come out of the wall like that so we can get into this hatch here quickly. The other way to do it is go around through to the kitchen. But this is just the faster way.
Yeah. Pretty much, like, so you can get that particular skip right there every time if your setup is right. My setup is never fine for it. It's one of those things. It's like, oh, if I get him to bust open the wall, we can. If not, then that's okay.
Yeah.
But no, that worked out perfectly.
I find Jack likes to linger in the corner for me every time.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like I could never do that because every time I go back, he's already in that hallway. So Jack needs to be out of sight to make that trigger happen.
Mm-hmm.
If he's in sight in the hallway, that whole cutscene won't occur, and you'll have to do it the long way, obviously.
Right. But no, yeah, that's what we call the hallway skip, and it's always great when you get it. If you're fighting for a top time in this game, you kind of have to get it, and then if you don't, you have to reset right there and have to see "Hey baby" again. So there are pros and cons to getting that.
Yeah, it's super cool to see when you do get it, though. I personally never go for it, but I was not expecting you to go for it either.
No, I usually don't go for it, but you can hear if Jack is still back there in the hallway. Like, I could still hear him at a distance. Like, if I hear him walking, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go for it. But since he got in my way there at the beginning, and I heard he was still pretty far back, I was like, he should be far enough back to where I can get this. So, but yeah, easy clap.
Right, it's time to get our trusty dusty pocket knife.
That's right. One sole police officer came out here, and he doesn't believe that we're in a crazy house, so we have to convince him to give us a weapon, and all he has to spare is a knife. So,
and I find it funny that a lot of the people in this game, specifically, Ethan, the police officer here, nobody comes with backup.
Yeah, they're all solo.
Everybody just goes alone in this stuff. It's like, no, I don't need a partner. I don't need nobody. Okay.
Yeah, we're flying solo.
Time for Jack 2.
Jack 1.
Or Jack 1, sorry. I'm skipping ahead here.
It seems like 2 because we already encountered him. But, yeah, this is our first series of boss fights with Jack. We're not going to tell you how many, but this is at least the first interaction here.
Yes.
Now, you get to see another instance of the censored version. The deputy here doesn't get his head sliced in half. He just gets a shovel to the back of the head. That's it.
And it makes a nice little face there.
Yeah, so not as much gore.
Yeah.
Alright,
so basically Jack 1 here, you want to grab the gun, grab the key, enter the car, and then basically immediately exit the car. So he focuses on the car for a bit, and then he'll go into the car. And we want to do enough damage that we possibly can with the knife before we give him a nice little 2 headshots here. Like, there we go. Got some headshots, and he's done.
He doesn't know how to drive, I guess.
It's literally the easiest fight in the game. You don't have to, as long as you do enough damage before he starts driving, the headshots should do enough damage to just instantly KO him.
Yeah. If not, like if you don't do enough damage to him, he'll just start doing donuts all in the garage and try to run you over, and that's a pain. It's funny though.
Yeah, he goes full drifter in the garage.
Cue the Eurobeat, but actually don't, cause DMCA.
Yeah, we don't want none of that. Good old Jack showing us that he's invincible to an extent.
That's right. So in pretty much every Resident Evil game, there's a virus of some sort. So in this game, not technically a virus, but there is a mold. It's not the T virus, the G virus, none of that stuff. It's mold. So that's our biological enemy here.
Yeah, we don't understand what the virus is until later on in the run. or later on in the game, if you will. There is a cutscene that kind of explains what happened to the family. But that's not till like way later, which is fine. But it's a very interesting virus, but I don't think we'll be seeing it again in RE8.
Yeah, we actually not quite sure what we're gonna see in RE8.
I think I'm getting like RE4 vibes from RE8.
It's true. All right, focus mode here for out of bounds setup. Kat, feel free to take it away.
We're gonna see some magic here in a moment. So Mar is setting up. So essentially we want to get the extra bullets, get the shadow puzzle piece, because this game is trigger happy. It does require us to do puzzles in order to get to later segments. If we don't do it, then well, things won't load in essentially, or things won't happen. But we want to get Jack downstairs as quickly as possible, and as well as getting this piece here before he enters the dining room. Otherwise, he'll start freaking out on the table. But we basically have to trail Jack along with us, so then we can stall him in the hallway enough time so we can do that shadow puzzle. And it looks like he's taking his sweet time over there.
Yeah, he was pretty far back, and usually you actually have to keep him at a distance. Like you want to keep him a little close, because if that wall is not busted open, he will bust through the wall, and that loses you a ton of time, and then you may not be able to put this shadow puzzle in. But since we did the hallway skip earlier, it actually makes this part, it gives us a little bit more time for this part.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about wall busting or anything, you know, Jack doing the Kool-Aid man thing, you know?
Yeah.
So now we're gonna set up the out of bounds. So we're gonna go up these stairs really quick. We're gonna stall him halfway up the stairs by shooting him in the knee again. I'm sure he's not too fond of it, but he'll deal with it.
So
we do need to, like, Mar does need to mess with her FPS here, otherwise certain things can kind of freak out. The game just likes to get you stuck a little bit. But yeah, that's the magic of out of bounds there. Jack basically turns us around and pushes us out the wall.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks, man. See you
Thank
later.
you. It's like, we'll proceed to another area.
Yeah. And that basically allows us to... That allows Mar to get to the basement a lot quicker, to get the red key card, which we wouldn't actually get access to till later in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty nifty. That saves us an extra trip into the basement here, so we grab it early. Excuse me. Oh, that wasn't nice, sir.
At least he didn't grab you, because sometimes that molded is a little tricky, and sometimes he'll actually bite you, and then you have to go through a whole animation of him grabbing you. And
yeah, those particularly aren't very fun. Is when those what? Oops.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Potato aim.
It's fine. We're fine. At least we're not in critical.
That's right. Sometimes that can happen, but yeah, usually you can shoot that guy, and it stuns him a little bit. If you don't hit him, then he does nab a hit on you when you're trying to put in that key. So that was my bad. I just didn't shoot him.
Yep.
All right.
Jack 2.
Jack 2.
Jack 2.
All right.
So there's a little bit of a setup for this fight. We want to go over to the right or the left, and we want to shoot Jack 4 times in the head, and then once he's down, unload the rest of the clip. We're gonna reload, do a little bit of menuing, make sure everything's set up for later on, and then grab that chainsaw, and it's about to get groovy. So we want to make sure that...
Oh. I was gonna say I missed an enhanced shot, so I don't think I did enough damage to him.
That's okay.
Like,
so sometimes Jack Q can be a little finicky here, but essentially we want to get him down as quickly as possible, so he exposes his head like so, and hopefully we can get the... Oh, there it is!
I was actually very nervous because I did miss an enhanced round, and so yeah, I'm not sure if I would still count that as a one cycle. At least he didn't go into the next phase there, because that just takes so much time.
Yeah,
but
he put up a little bit of a struggle
Yeah.
But you got it. You still got it. You didn't have to reload the chainsaw or anything, so that was at least pleasant.
Yeah, that was as good as that can be, especially because all of our enhanced rounds here, you see I have my ammo in the bottom right corner. Right now we're on the enhanced, and those rounds are very rare. So what you see is what you get. You can craft some with gunpowder and strong chem fluid, but there's only so much we pick up along the route, so we have specific amounts of ammo for every boss. So when I missed a shot, I was like, oh my god, please don't go into another cycle. Like, oh no, because it's like, oh, why don't you just use more enhanced rounds? It's like, no, I need that. I need that for later. So
new game is very, very heavy it's very dependent on the ammo that you have along the route. You can go out of your way to get more, however, obviously that's going to waste time. So new game is very don't miss. Save what you got, and if you can get extra ammo along the way that is on the route, beautiful, awesome, that's great, but for enhanced ammo, you got to be very specific on your shots.
Yeah, you can't miss those shots, like, at all. But I'm happy with how that turned out. Alright, so we're back upstairs because we're actually going to grab the broken shotgun. That's going to be our main weapon of the game, and no, we're gonna fix it, don't worry. But
it's a little broken now, but you know, with a little bit of love, it should be bright as good as new.
We actually didn't explain, so to get out of the house, we actually had to pick up these puzzle pieces called dog heads. So I actually just picked up my last one, so we're out of here now. But yeah, after this, we're going to grab our repair kit from underneath the house, and that's gonna fix our shotgun right up, and then we'll have a nice, beautiful OP weapon to use for the rest of the run.
Here we go. And there is 2 shotguns in this. There is the shotgun that allows you to shoot 4 bullets, or 4 shells, and then there is the broken shotgun that only does 2, but this shotgun specifically is just way better. Way superior of a shotgun.
It's has a slow reload and it only holds 2 bullets, but trust us, it's worth it. You gotta use it. It's faster in the long run.
Also, even like if you were to get the other shotgun, you'd have to get the broken shotgun anyways to be able to get the not broken shotgun. So you might as well use the broken one. Just fix it.
We also have some downtime here, so if you have any donations or any announcements to make, feel free during this downtime.
I don't have anything so far, but I do want to say that we do have your incentive to continue these comfy times that we're having here.
Oh, the incentive was met?
No, but I'm saying that we do still have it to meet.
Yes.
That's right.
So if you guys don't know, Marphoria here has an incentive to do the DLC, which is pretty cool. I think it's a $50 incentive?
Yeah.
I believe?
That is correct, yes.
$50 goal to meet that. So if you guys want to see more Resident Evil 7, if you want to see, you know, Mr. Chris Redfield and how he would deal with the mold situation, feel free to get those in if you want to see it.
Yep.
All right.
Not a Hero's pretty fun.
Well, that's a great speed run. Like, it's very short. You know, so it's like a 30, well, less than 30-minute speed run. A lot of the DLC here is very short. The main game, of course, is the longest. You know, can't skip any of those cutscenes or anything like that. But if you're interested in RE7 speedruns and don't have the energy for, you know, hour and a half, which is understandable, I totally get it. There's plenty of DLCs to choose from. Shorter runs, and they're very fun.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet and to the point.
Mm-hmm. So now we're in the Marge section, Marguerite. very much filled with bugs. If you are not a fan of bugs, I would maybe suggest not looking at the screen or something, because it's very bug-filled.
It's very
bug-filled?
It's very buggy.
It's very buggy, yeah. And you get to see the very colorful vocabulary of Ethan here.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I would also not be happy crawling through here.
He's got a great vocabulary. He has a very distinct
Yeah, very
feeling.
creative.
Yeah.
Right. But we can relate, right? Wouldn't we all kind of be the same or say something similar in a situation?
I would probably be like, get me out of here. This is disgusting.
Actually, what I would have done, I would have just went backwards. I wouldn't.
I'm not going in that house.
Yeah. I would just not continue through. No, thank you.
No.
I would have stopped the moment Mia was like, "Hey, we're going further." It's like, "No, I'm good. Bye."
Yeah, there was
Go back.
there was plenty of opportunities here for Ethan to be like, you know what, I've had it. But no, he's proceeding. He's a trooper.
You know, he lost his hand and quote unquote
No, we
lost
didn't.
his hand, then got it back.
Yeah, we
No.
never lost that.
Actually, what's hilarious about that is your hand gets stapled back on. We didn't lose our hand, but we still get staples in our hand. Well, I was gonna say you can't really see them here, but we definitely have staples in our hand.
Yeah, well, now it's covered by the watch, but
By the watch,
in the
yeah.
dinner cutscene, you see Zoe, or mysterious woman, stapling back your hand. That
Yeah,
we
it's-
never lost.
It's pretty silly. Alright, making sure I don't have enhanced on. Yeah, we have our
Yeah,
regular
definitely.
bullets out.
Definitely make sure of that, because we don't want to waste any single one of those.
No, absolutely not. So, spoilers, we have a jump scare coming up just for you, just just as a spoiler for anyone who's sensitive to jump scares and stuff like that. But yeah, we're about to initiate our first boss fight right here. How did she teleport from that side of the house to here?
She's magical. Yeah, so this fight here is such a pain on knife only. If you like pressing mouse 1 50 million times, this is the game for you. But in new game, you just simply shoot her with the shotgun 2 times, and then if you gotta use your handgun bullets, then she's down and out. Don't gotta worry about a thing. But knife only. Oh my god.
Yeah, you basically have to time that whole thing out in knife only.
Yeah, it is, it hurt my wrists quite a lot. Not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not for me, but to you guys who are a fan of knife only, yeah, go at, have at it.
I don't recommend it.
No, but that fight's very simple on new game. Yeah, 2 shots with your shotgun, 1 to 2 shots with your handgun, but sometimes you know, you guys know how shotgun spread works. Sometimes the shell may not hit her even though you think it does, so then you have to use more handgun bullets. So thankfully the amount of handgun bullets we have now, I mean, we won't need to pick up any for the rest of the game, so we're set. As long as we have what is it, like 4 for the barn, we're fine.
1, 2, 3,
It's either 4 or 5.
5.
All right, lantern skip. Another skip. If we can hit it, feel free to explain that, Cat.
So lantern skip, she's setting up right now, and essentially you want to fall at a certain angle to activate Marge coming in and out of that hole to grab the lantern. The normal way to do that would be going all the way to one of the doors inside where we came out, and you touch it or whatever, you look at it, and then you come back out and you'll get a cutscene where Marge grabs the lantern. So instead of doing all that, we just completely skip it by falling at a certain angle. How it works, beats me, but
yeah. It's like you
It
look up
just
at a
works.
ceiling. You look up at a certain spot in the ceiling and then look down.
yep, it's as easy as that. But if you go too far to the left or too far to the right, you can mess it up, and it is a hard thing to set up. So, Mars getting into March 2 now. So, remember when we said we needed that enhanced ammo? Yeah, this is exactly why. So, we want to unload the clip immediately when she's in that hole. So that way when we only have to use our shotgun shells, we want to specifically have, like,
Ooh, I'm retrying
enough...
that. Sorry.
You're okay.
I didn't do enough damage to her, so we are retrying that.
That is okay. That is the magic of RE7. You get a little bit of a leeway with retries. at least on easy and normal. But again, unload the enhanced ammo clip into her. We want to do a lot of reload cancels. So animation cancels for the reload, so that way we can reload and use the gun immediately instead of waiting for Ethan to completely do the full animation. It's just a long process. So we want to do as much damage to her her section down there, and try to get her down into
Okay, she's dead.
Stone.
Is the model glitching, or is she supposed to be doing spider-like?
Oh no,
movements?
she's a spider queen.
She's supposed to be a spider.
Yeah, she is a spider, so we want to do enough damage to her so she doesn't go into another hole. Because the moment she gets into the hole, like that hole or any hole in the wall really, she'll go on a track system. So basically her body will stop animating and will go to a different hole and then pop out and do her thing. But we would have to find her, and that's a whole process because you have to listen to where she might be, because there is a second floor.
Yeah,
and there's the first floor.
Yeah, there's the house we were in. It's a greenhouse. It's actually humongous. There's lots of spaces and like little holes for her to climb out of. There's like ladders and stuff all in there. But we in this run, we literally just contain her to that room, which is it's really nice for both the new game and new game easy speed runs, because that fight is over so quickly. But yeah, when you're playing it casually or when you're speedrunning it in Madhouse, you're kind of all over a few different rooms there.
Yeah, or if you run out of ammo, which has happened to myself before, sometimes you have to run around and try and find what ammo you can in the boxes and stuff, which can be a little time consuming and not the funnest part.
Right, because we actually didn't mention, so there's honestly not a ton of RNG in this game, surprisingly. Like, you know,
just the boxes.
Yeah, the boxes, like the crates with the yellow tape on them, those are the only things that are RNG. Now, there are some boxes that have, like, you know, there's always going to be like handgun ammo in this box, or there's going to be, you know, there will be dedicated boxes like that, but then for the most part, the rest of the boxes are totally RNG, and it's based off of like what you've picked up already. So those can be a little unpredictable. So yeah, if you run out of ammo and you're searching, you know, you may be looking for first aid, or you may be looking for shotgun shells, but the game will just give you handgun bullets, or it's up you're up to the game's mercy there, essentially.
Yeah. That's a neat little trick there. I've never done that one before.
Yeah, so for that guy, he has iframes when he spawns in. So you can shoot him or you can kill him, but a lot of the times I just walk up to him. You can swap your FPS to 30, because when you swap your FPS to 30 when you're by enemies, you can just essentially walk right through them, or, you know, walk right by them. Makes it much easier to walk through them. So we utilize it there. We utilize it when we're going for out of bounds. I know some people, they can just walk right by Jack and they don't have to swap their FPS settings, but I always do. And it'll be the same thing for up here, because we do have another jump scare coming up where we will utilize that FPS trick there. So we're literally in the 30 FPS for a second.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of switching frame rate. It depends. Like, a lot of this run you don't have to switch your frame rate. There's like maybe one section where you have to, but even then with the new route for the out of bounds anyways, you don't necessarily need to. It just does make it easier and safer. And obviously sometimes, you know, safety first.
That's right.
But it's cool that you can manipulate stuff like that, though.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like we were mentioning earlier, like with RNG stuff, like you can, like, you don't, there's not really a lot of RNG, and like the enemies, for the most part, you can manipulate them. Excuse me, menuing.
Hello.
Menuing, please. Yeah, because like the Marge 2 boss fight, we're basically manipulating her there, and here is where we swap to 30 and we walk by, essentially walk right through that molded.
Easy life.
Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta start doing that. That was I'm stuck in my ways. I can't help it.
You're good. Now, what you just saw there, I picked up that snake key. That is probably the biggest time save of this game when you're
Oh,
running the
God,
censored version, because normally when you play this game, you have to reach the cop that Jack killed earlier. He's in there and he's headless, and Lucas hid the key inside the deputy's body. And to get the key, why did I close the door on myself?
No, it's okay.
What memes? Jeez, so many memes tonight. But yeah, what I was gonna say was, normally you have to get that key from, like, by reaching into the deputy's throat. But here, in the censored version, you literally just pick it up off the table and that's it.
And it's like a 20-second cutscene too. It's a fairly lengthy cutscene that you have to sit through. But yeah, like Mar said, all you have to do is just grab the key off the table and away you go.
That's right. Now, earlier Kat said this game is very, it's very trigger heavy. Like, the game wants you to do this game. The game wants you to complete certain things in order. But, like, right there, I did this clock puzzle because normally that's where you'd have to go grab the red key card. But since we grabbed the red key card earlier, you know, we don't have to go back into the basement to grab it. But you still have to complete that puzzle, because if you don't complete that puzzle, the game essentially thinks that, you know, you didn't do anything or anything like that. So then the game will soft lock later. So you have to do that.
Yeah, it basically, if she didn't do that puzzle, you can still get the key, like the blue key card. Oh, there.
Excuse me?
It's because you're healthy.
Can I use it?
No, you have to throw it out.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
pass
excuse
it
me?
because you're healthy.
Oh, I am healthy. Wow. Okay. I usually pick up that herb.
when you're thinking about safety so much that no, I'm fine.
Yeah. That was hilarious, because there's an herb right there I always pick up for safety, but Marge did so much damage to us earlier that I already healed, and I usually don't do that. So yeah, I did things a little bit out of order, and so that was really funny. And so in other RE games, you can use health items even if you're healthy. But in RE7, if you're healthy and you're trying to get rid of health items, the game's just like, nah, you can't use this. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're healthy. You're fine. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, just leave, please. But thankfully, you can discard, because yeah, in the older RE titles, you can't discard anything.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a pain in the ass. So I was saying you could still get the blue key card and activate this door, but if you didn't do that puzzle, this cutscene here would actually not activate at all.
Mm-hmm. And earlier when we mentioned that there are long cutscenes where you can have a bathroom break or a snack break, this is one of them. I know this is Kat's favorite cutscene ever.
I love this cutscene. Oh, this is my favorite. Also, if you are sensitive to body, like, fingernails being ripped off, essentially, maybe you look away if you're sensitive to that. That does happen in this, but yeah, it's still one of my favorite cutscenes. I don't think that part's ever bothered me too much.
Yeah,
I just love Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas is a great character. So earlier, you know, we saw Jack, we saw Marguerite. We didn't really see too much of Lucas. So Lucas here, he's essentially kind of like a wannabe Jigsaw. He likes to set up rooms with traps and things of that nature. I'm not looking at this because I hate this cutscene so much. But yeah, he's essentially just
sorry.
He's essentially just showing you how deranged he is, and yeah. Oh god. Ugh. I was trying to look at the camera to talk, and then I saw like his bloody fingernail. Ugh.
No. Ugh. I'm just trying to show him that not everybody wants to go back to how things were.
I think I would be horrified by this if we didn't have the bad graphics going on. I think it would get me more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps that the game's in potato graphics.
Yeah. But it's crazy because out of everything that's going on in this game, you know, we have these crazy molded monsters, we're blowing off their heads, and there's spiders and all sorts of stuff. None of that bothers me, but him pulling off his fingernails bothers me, because that's something that you can see someone do in real life. We're not going to see molded monsters in real life, I think.
Yeah.
Spiders are real.
We get to see
That's
Ethan's
true.
use of colorful vocabulary again. Ethan, what's your favorite word?
Let's see.
Oh, of course.
We're waiting for it. All right.
Alright, so Mars gonna specifically shoot the bombs here because you could block them and Ethan just goes through them like that. Very, you know, Ethan can tank a bomb for whatever reason, but you can shoot them prior. And you should be, you know, you're completely fine. You know, you grab a heal along the way, and you're good. But it's super satisfying when you get the shots off of the bombs ahead of time.
Yeah, the one that was in the door, you have to aim like at the door frame, like right after the door opens. It's kind of a tricky shot. Sometimes you can hit him, sometimes you can't, but as long as you block it quick enough, you should be fine.
Yeah.
And just as long as you're not in a lower health state. Like once you're lingering there in like caution, orange caution, you know, that's where it gets a little tricky. Jeez. Crank.
Yeah, because that last bomb, if you don't go at it, like you can do a certain angle for that last bomb there. You can block it if you want, but there's a way you can get through it and block it quickly. But there is a risk of getting knocked over, and then you have to get up, and then you're probably in critical state at that point, and
Right.
yeah, it is not the funnest.
That little...
Donation?
Oh, yes,
yeah,
please.
sure.
Yeah, we got $10 from Prague Mentality towards that Not a Hero bonus run.
Nice. Thank
Hey.
you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right.
Ooh.
Are you ready for the barn fight?
I'm as ready as I can. I'm ready. I don't know if Ethan's ready. He's about to party here.
Chad, are you ready? I don't know if you're ready, Chad. I need to see that we're ready for this barn fight.
Are we ready for the barn fight, folks? I think we are.
I think so.
I think he's getting everything set up here. We got the lights. We got the lights. We got the music.
It's getting intense.
Oh man, he's even brought a party guest for us. Oh, no, I won't pick those up because then I have to put them away. I was going
That's
to.
fair. So we want to use 10 enhanced ammo exactly to this man's head. Or
All
this
on the head.
thing's head. I don't know what it is exactly. It's a molded, big daddy molded.
Big
But
boy
we want to
molded.
do 10 enhanced ammo to his head, and it's just easy.
And that's it. This is what remains of our party. Oh man.
What a mess.
I hope I don't have to clean this up.
Lucas is not very happy that we exploded his party guest.
How much longer do we have till the end of this run? So we know how much time we got left to meet
We got,
that
like-
Not a Hero incentive.
Got like 40 minutes.
Yeah, we got like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
40
some
minutes for
time.
$40. We can do that.
Heck yeah.
$40 to get that DLC, folks. Let's see it.
It's a fun run, I promise.
Yeah, it's a very short and sweet and fun little run with some interesting stuff that goes on. Now,
Alright.
time for the favorite section of the game, essentially, at least for me, anyways.
It is for me as well. It's essentially an escape room puzzle, essentially. And you essentially have to take this candle, and it's lit, and we have to put it on that birthday cake. Oh wait, no we can't. Alright, so we have to figure out a way to make it stop raining.
Yeah, there is a, like, essentially, if we were to do this, so the answer to the puzzle doesn't change. It's not RNG. It's basically the same thing every time. But essentially, we have to turn off that water, obviously, to get that lit candle on the cake. So you basically would have to go through a video to figure out certain things of what this room is. You'd have to get the doll that we got the candle from to do certain things to give us the answer to the door coming up. But since we already know the answer, Mars just gonna go in and put in that password, and away she goes.
Yeah, the game essentially assumes that Ethan watched that videotape because, yeah, we actually didn't say, but at various parts in the game here, there are videotapes you can pick up for lore. and there's one videotape called Happy Birthday, and it's just it's a video of this guy named Clancy. He was stuck in the same exact room, and you essentially you played through that whole tape as Clancy, and you did all these little things to figure out the password here to get out of here. But you saw we didn't pick up a videotape, we didn't watch anything, but the game just assumes that we did, so here we are.
The game just is like, oh, you know password? Sure. It doesn't stop you. Like, because in the videotape, if you watch it, it actually stops you from doing certain things, because it's like, I don't know that.
Yeah, like, we know the password to that little letter lock was loser, but if you watch the videotape and you try to insert that, the character in the video is like, I don't know the password. We're like, oh, yes we do.
we know it, but it just won't let you. But if you do it as Ethan, Ethan's just like, get out of the way, Clancy. I know the password.
Yeah, as you see, the cake, the candle that we put the cake on was a bomb, and we didn't die to it, but Lucas is
just the Terminator.
Lucas is here at his last resort, and he's like, let's drop some dynamite in here. But guess what? We're lucky. We found a hole in the wall to drop it in, so.
Yeah, Ethan is he's just a tank. So Mar got all of her items back from the item box, and there's a specific thing that we do as runners, is that we'll have a double confirm. At least for the PC version, we will have a double confirm to be able to go through the item inventory a lot quicker to get things from the box to our personal inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes it so much faster.
Yeah. So for me, the default confirm button on the keyboard is F, and you can double bind that to like a side mouse button. So it's really cool. You can pick up your items super quickly, and you kind of go at it with a rhythm. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, the cake was a lie. I'm sorry to disappoint. The cake is a lie. Sorry, guys.
Indeed, it was. We didn't even get to taste it. That's the biggest lie right there. Biggest crime.
No, it looked pretty good.
It did.
It was yelling at me, but you know, it looked pretty tasty.
Now, as per horror games, you do a key event and then bad things happen. So we lifted up the bridge here and all the enemies start spawning. But you know what? It's okay. They're not an issue. We're just going on a nice stroll here. Thank you, folks.
They're too slow to even comprehend what's going on.
Right. So, since we're kind of going through the game a little fast, and we've answered some phone calls, didn't answer others, whatever. We have this whole time we've been collecting items to make a serum to cure ourselves of the mold stuff here. So the ingredients here were a head and an arm that we just gave Zoe right there. So she's gonna go ahead and craft that for us, so we can hopefully get out of here.
Yep. So we, in the run, we kind of manipulate this a little bit. So you could wait up there for Zoe to be done and go through her animation. But if you go downstairs and then come back up, she'll just be sitting there with the serum. Like, are you gonna take it yet? How about now? Okay, now? Alright, cool.
Alright, folks, Jack is back. Jack is back.
You guys like iframes? Because Jack sure does.
He absolutely does. Alright, take it away, Kat.
So as you can see, Jack obviously has his weak points exposed, being the eyes. And one thing with the eyes is that they do have iframes. So if you shoot them too quickly, some shots just won't register. And you actually have to kind of take your time a little bit on this. But by the time you finish reloading, you should be able to shoot him and pop the eye no problem. But we have to do it in a specific order, otherwise Jack might go upstairs, and if he goes upstairs you have to wait for him to come down because some eyes are just not accessible. So we gotta do it as quick as possible at a well-paced movement.
Alright, that's all he wrote.
Easy peasy.
And he's going under.
He's done for.
Yeah, he's had it.
Oh, never mind. He's not done yet.
I guess not. All right.
He's got a few more things to say, and with that, we're just gonna pop his last eye and get out of here, Jack.
And that's it. All right, we'll take a heal. Why not? All right, well, thanks for the show, Jack. I'm gonna be on my merry way now.
I'm
Alright.
done with this. Oh, hey, Zoe.
Hey, Zoe, what's up? Oh, just kidding.
Use the serum on him.
Yeah, Zoe crafted 2 serums for us, and we had 1, but she's telling us to use it on Jack, so okay, we're using it on him. I think this will kill him.
I find it hilarious that she tells us to do this, and then later we're left. Well, obviously in a minute from now we're gonna be left with a choice, picking Mia or picking Zoe. And usually for speedruns we pick Mia because, well, she's obviously the fastest way to go. But just the interaction of who you pick is just kind of funny.
She's just like, what are we gonna do now? Like, what do you mean there's 1 left? It's like, Zoe, you told us to use 1.
Zoe, this is your doing, all right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So, who do we choose? This is hard decision. Oh man.
Do I pick my wife that I came here for, or do I pick the person I don't know at all who's just been calling me throughout the house?
We pick Mia because it is the fastest route. If you pick Zoe, you will lose 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how quickly you do this additional boss fight that we don't want to do. So yeah, you do not pick Zoe, as much as I know some folks would want to, because, you know, Mia, our wife, she's been trying to kill us this whole time. She tried cutting off our hand, and you know, she tried killing us multiple times, and she had a chainsaw at us. But nah, we came here to save the wife, so we're saving the wife.
Yep, and Zoe's not too pleased about that. She's very angry with us, even though she told us to use the serum on Zoe. We'll come back, I swear. Zoe, it's fine. Hi, Zoe.
Take care. We'll see you here in a bit. What's actually great about that what's great about that whole interaction is that if you need like another bathroom break or something like that, you know, this whole cutscene here takes a little bit of time. So as soon as you hit cure Mia, you're just like, okay, bye guys, be right back, and you'll be back.
Go pee.
You'll be back in time. Trust us.
Yeah, pretty much. You got time to wash your hands, maybe, you know, fix your hair, whatever you want to do. I don't know.
Use get hydrated. You know, you got some time. Stretch, posture check, all sorts of stuff.
Now we're making our way to the boat section.
That's right. We think we're going home, or we think we're leaving or getting out of here, but we come across a large tanker type ship of sorts. So this will actually be the next section that we're going to spend some time on. So
it is the slower section of the game. So basically, once you finish Jack 3, it's almost like, okay, I can relax now. Just because the second half of the game is far more. It's more movement based than anything. Mm-hmm. There is some menuing, but it's just point A to point B type of gameplay, which is fine. It allows you to breathe a bit.
Yeah. Now, you know, our boat gets knocked over. We come here ashore, and we actually spawn as Mia. We're not playing as Ethan anymore. We're playing as Mia, and with that means all of our inventory has gotten reset, and we don't have anything. We have some tissue samples. Those will come into play later. But yeah, we're stuck with nothing. So everything that you collected early on, say goodbye to that, and hello Mia, hello clean inventory.
Also, even if you pick Zoe at the dock, you still play as Mia, which how she got from like that dock to this point, no idea, but she's there and we end up playing as her anyways.
She decided to go for a nice swim, you know.
Yeah, she's a huge fan of swamps.
It's been a long night, you know. Nice swim, I think, will help clear our mind.
We have about 30 minutes left of the run, and we still got we still got $40 left if you guys want to see the Not a Hero run. It's just a great run if you guys want to check it out. Just $40. If we can maybe get the donation link in the chat, that would be pretty great. And that would be appreciated. There it is. Thank you very much. But yeah, I want to see that. Come on, guys.
Now, so here in the boat section, this is definitely a slower section of the game. You know, I said earlier how this game is slower paced, but this is definitely like the slowest point in the game because this section just serves as like, you know, lore.
It's the lore filler section.
Yeah, so you know, upon your first visit when you play this game, you know, it's really terrifying. You have no idea where you're at. You know, it's dark, it's moldy, it's creepy, but you know, it's great for lore. You get some background on why you were here, because this is where Mia, like, this is where she was 3 years ago. So all of these flashbacks happened.
Yeah. We're basically getting it's basically filling. There's a lot of papers you can read throughout the boat section, and then there's also obviously like little cutscenes of flashbacks, kind of getting an understanding of why Zoe's here, what brought her here, what she was doing. It's I guess it's just to get the other half of the story essentially. But there's a lot of stuff you can read on this boat, which of course we're not going to be reading any of it, but
Nope.
if you ever want to go through this game at any point, or if you're curious about what's going on, definitely highly suggest like reading anything in this boat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to read the backstories and read about Evie, this little girl right here, who may or may not be an antagonist, we think.
Yeah, and my fun fact of this game is that the story, the writer for the story of this game was actually the same writer for Fear. And you can kind of see the resemblance between Alma and Evie here, which is pretty cool. When I found that out, I was like, you know what, this makes a lot more sense.
Well, when did Fear come out?
Oh, Fear came out a while ago. First Fear was... Let's see. First Fear was 2005.
Okay, but there's been multiple ones. There's like 3 or 4 of them, right?
Yes. There's 4 of them.
Yeah, and it's first person.
Yeah.
Because
first person, very shooty action horror game type deal.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, you know, back when RE7 came out, you know, a lot of the modern horror games at the time, you know, you had like Outlast, Alien Isolation, things like that. So I'm not surprised if they were to get in a writer from like another first-person type of game to help round it out.
Yeah, it's very cool to see the two worlds kind of collide in a sense, and it's not very like, unless you played Fear, you probably wouldn't see that right away, or it wouldn't be very obvious. But if you played Fear, it's like, oh yeah, okay. Now we're gonna have a flashback.
Now, remember how we said there are videotapes that you can watch throughout this game? This is, and you could skip a lot of them. Well, this is the one videotape you cannot skip. You have to watch it. You cannot leave this room or anything unless you watch this tape. So we begrudgingly put in the tape and watch it because we have to play out this flashback. So here we are. We've teleported to the year 2014. Alan! And here's Alan.
Every single time I come up to this point, I always just think of the groundhog screaming Alan.
Alan.
Alan. Yeah, so we do have to kind of listen to Alan a few times, but Mara's going to be doing a little tiny skip here coming up that saves 17 seconds, and we completely skip a dialogue section that we have to sit through with Alan here. It's wonderful. I love it because Alan just goes on.
Well, his last name is Droney, spelled like drone with a Y at the end, so that's totally fitting.
Yeah.
He just drones on and on.
Yep. So basically the setup here is you want to get to the confirm as close as possible without being too like you want to be far enough away but close enough to be able to hit confirm and then turn around as quickly as possible so you just skip the dialogue. I don't know why, but it just doesn't register and you can just go right through without having to listen to Alan for 17 seconds.
Yeah, it's really nice because yeah, anytime you're talking to Alan, because he's talking to you via the watch, it's like a phone essentially. You can't like, yeah, you can't interact. You can't interact with your inventory. You can't open doors. You can't do anything. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh,
Sir?
Thank you.
He was not happy about you pushing him off the elevator.
Oh, that's not nice because we actually need as much health as we can throughout this section. So.
Yeah, Mia goes into critical state pretty quickly, but also she stays in critical state a lot longer than Ethan.
Yes, she does. So,
and
yeah.
There's also not a lot of healing around, so you're kind of stuck with it for a bit, and hopefully avoid everything.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. She can tank some stuff. She can't tank it as much as Ethan can.
Yeah, Ethan's just a whole other level. Now we're gonna set up for the bomb double door skip.
Heck yeah.
It's a fun skip. We just place a bomb and we wait for, you know, we go do our usual thing. We make sure we don't let it we don't let it go off just yet. We have to wait a bit.
No. Don't accidentally hit the R button to reload because, you know, when you're speedrunning a game, especially like a shooting game. Oops, did not have my menuing set up. But, yeah, we're so constantly used to hitting R to reload, and R for the bombs is to detonate them, so we just gotta be extra careful to not do that.
Yeah, you're reloading your bomb just like we reloaded the the chainsaw earlier.
That's true.
Yeah. So, we have to go into here to activate Evie in this section. She'll pop up, and then she'll disappear. Then we have to listen to Alan.
Oh yeah, he's talking. He's droning.
He's droning on and on and on, and I'm kind of sick of it. And let's hope we set this up right. If we did, you will know.
All right.
Hey, there it is, and you can see Evie's still making her way.
she's sliding away.
She's taking an adventure. Her animations are completely stuck, except for her hair for whatever reason. Her hair's still moving around, but her body's just like, okay, bye.
The hair
on out.
The hair in this game is so silly.
It makes sense of why a lot of developers choose short hair or ponytails for characters. Uh-oh.
I should have picked up that herb. I saw it and I was like, I should pick it up. And I was like, nah, you know what? It's okay. No dabbing, please. Don't dab. No dabbing allowed.
This is a no dab house. Sir? Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
We're getting very close, actually. We just got 2 donations in a row, putting us at $45 total out of 50 for that donation goal. So we got $15 from Gideon Baldwin, just says for the DLC, and $20 from Archibald Leach, who says Resident Evil 7. Yeah, just for the Resident Evil 7 Not a Hero bonus run.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, so that brings us to $45 out of $50.
Nice. Thank you so much.
We just need $5, ladies and gentlemen. $5.
$5 more. So I made a face during that, not because of the donations. I made a face because I forgot to hit the elevator button. So usually when those molded are coming, you know, you hit the elevator button, so you know you call the elevator. But yeah, I guess I didn't.
And then right there we get $40 from James Cow towards the goal. He went over.
Wow! Oh my
We
goodness!
got it.
Thank you.
Right, well, can we get some hypers, some pogs, some
Hypes and
champs, or
claps.
whatever you got in the chat for reaching that goal. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. We get to be a hero and not a hero.
All at the same time.
And
With
see
hashtag not my Chris.
right. No, it's gonna be a good one. I'm excited to show you guys. So thank you so much for getting in those donations to hit that incentive. Thank you, everyone.
Heck yeah. Oh, hi, Alan.
Alan, what's wrong, Alan?
Alan, stop. Oh, I can't. Yeah, so Alan's not feeling too well. He had too much Taco Bell. He's having a tummy ache.
We can relate to that.
Oh, can I ever?
We just said we had someone talking about a $700 goal incentive that they had for their sombrero. We're about to hit 800, so
Oh!
we're only $10 away from that goal.
Nice. Wow, wow, wow. That sounds fun.
That's what's up. We love to see it.
Love to see it.
Except for Alan, maybe not.
Now, Alan's not having a good time, so but it's okay. We get to leave him here. Nice knowing you, Alan. Blink.
Oh, and bye, Evie.
So this is where Mia gets officially infected with the mold, and why she was so crazy and insane. So yeah, you can see it. It's on our skin. It's gonna absorb into that. So yeah, we are officially infected. This is where it all began. Yeah. Dang.
Yeah. Sometimes it just be like that.
So what's actually interesting about the mold is that some people's bodies will reject it and they'll die, like Alan does, or their body will accept it. That gives you, that makes you susceptible to Evie's controls. So. Interesting.
And
All right.
so the one cutscene we can skip.
Here's the one cutscene. And bye.
I like how they also call it a movie.
That's right.
It's not even that long, but they call it a movie, and essentially the cutscene is just like basically Mia drowning. I don't.
It's like the Titanic. The ship is like, you know, sinking and all that stuff, and windows are getting blown out and stuff, and then yeah, Mia falls off and she drowns. It's like a minute or two cutscene, something like that. We never watch it, so I actually don't know how long it is.
Yeah, I think I watched it like 2 times out of the many hours that I've played. I just first playthrough, and then maybe another time when I was like, oh, I wonder what this cutscene looks like.
Yeah,
I forget.
Yeah, it's definitely been at least a year or 2 since I've seen it. So, but yeah, it's technically a movie because it's like a fully rendered out cinematic. It's not like an in-game cutscene where the time is still running and all that. So,
yeah.
So it's
although the timer still runs if the movie's going, so you have to exit out of that pretty quickly.
That's true. You gotta hit escape as soon as you can. All right, so now we're back in the present day. We're done watching that movie. We had a nice break with our movie. So everything that occurred in that film, you know, is still here in present day. So the elevator, it broke, so we have to fix it. And so we need to go find a fuse and a power cable.
That are just so accessible.
That's true. So, yeah, we're just gonna literally go right to those 2 areas to grab it. We're playing Elevator Repair Woman Simulator now.
Yep. Point A to point B.
And that's it. We're on a fetch quest.
Are you gonna get God Door? Are you gonna get the God Door?
Probably not. I never get it.
I hate God Door so much.
Yeah, you can't hesitate on it like at all. It's just
Yeah, you gotta be very quick on that door. So the door, for whatever reason, just likes to close on itself, but there is a chance where you can get through the door before it closes. That's why we call it the God Door, because it kind of just does what it wants. Hi, Molded.
What's up?
Little crawly friend.
Yeah, we don't like the crawlers. They're actually probably they're definitely one of the more aggressive enemies in this game because they do tons of damage if they hit you. And sometimes they'll do like a double hit on you too, so we try to avoid them as much as possible.
Madhouse, they are not my favorite at all.
You're dead you're literally dead in 1 hit if you get hit by those guys.
I got some words to say about those Molded on Madhouse.
Oops. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I had my menu messed up when I picked up the fuse earlier. I did not mean to, but yeah, that was my bad on that. But it's okay.
It's okay. We're still alive.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, it's been
to get that power cable.
I've had lots of menuing memes and all sorts of random memes happen today, but that's okay. We can blame it on Friday the 13th.
Oh, true. It is Friday the 13th. I totally forgot.
It's a great day for a
marathon-
hard run.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Where marathon luck is even worse.
I was gonna say that it's been totally all my fault. I usually, like, anytime I mess up in a game, I don't blame the RNG or I don't blame the game or anything. It's just like, oh, that was on me. But today I'm blaming it on.
Blame the leg.
Nah. Today we're blaming it on Friday the 13th.
True. Alright.
Alright, we grabbed all of our necessary items, and we didn't mention this, but as you may notice, Mia doesn't have any weapons. We didn't bother to pick up any guns, any knives, none of that. So yeah, you can do this whole section here without any weapons. It's really nice. As long.
Mia just uses her arms. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all she needs. Just
Yeah.
her arms to block some stuff somehow, and
yeah.
and away she goes.
Yeah, because you know, the molded move slow enough, and you know, you can juke them, you can block them, so you're pretty much fine without any weapons here. No need to kill them.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, so we're inching towards the end here, because we're trying to find Ethan. We know where he's at, so he's just essentially going to be at the end of this route here. But before we even get there, there's going to be some big moldy boys spawning up in here, but we're just going to kind of tap dance around them. It's okay.
Excuse me, sir. Thank you, sir.
The music.
Time to go save Ethan. Woo!
Ethan, hello. How's it going?
Oh hi, Evie. Get out of the way. I got a husband to save.
Yeah, we do a retry there because it loads into this cutscene quicker. So one of the other many retries that we do. We do have one last retry coming up. It's going to be at the salt mines. So, yeah, good stuff.
And now this is the cutscene where basically the infection / mold gets a little explained, and you get to see the Baker family before all this happened. You get a better explanation of what happened in the Daughters DLC, but you feel bad for what happened to the Baker family. It's actually very sad.
Yeah, they were just kind of like your typical, you know, American family, you know, with their southern hospitality. You know, when Mia and Evie washed up on shore from the shipwreck, the Baker family took them in to take care of them, but Evie, being the deranged little girl she is, she infected the Baker family with the mold to control them. So this is where Jack is essentially explaining all of that stuff. So you feel bad. It feels bad, man, for the Baker family here.
Yeah, for real. Also, Marge on the table there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the whole Baker family's here, and last time I did this run, Kat was like, oh yeah, Marge is on the table. I'm like, no, she isn't. And she's like, yeah, the lantern. Yeah, she is the lantern right there.
Even Marge doesn't get left out.
She got reincarnated as a lantern, so yeah, it's a nice little heartfelt scene here, because you see that Jack is not, you know, he's not a monster, he's not a killer, he's none of that. The mold kind of made him a little cuckoo, but it's okay.
Cuckoo.
But he's not a killer. He's here telling us to you know, go ahead, let's get Evie. Let's get revenge. Let's get our revenge here.
He's just a loving father, man. He's so sweet.
He was just trying to do the right thing, and that's fine. Now, if we saved Zoe on the dock during that interaction after that Jack boss fight, this little cutscene right here and this little interaction would be much different. So if you saved Zoe, Zoe would die on that little boat, and you know, Mia comes here, right? But then Mia, she actually turns, she gets controlled by Evie, and then she tries to kill you again. So this part would be another boss fight if you saved Zoe. That is yet another reason why we do not save Zoe during the speed run.
Yeah, it's basically an added 30 to 40 seconds essentially. And that's basically the, like, if you pick Zoe, that's literally all that gets added. Everything else is basically the same, but this section.
Yeah. If you save Mia, like you should, this just plays out as a cutscene. You don't have to fight anyone. You don't have to do anything. You can just be on your merry way. But if you choose Zoe, this whole interaction is different, and then you have to fight her. So, and not just that, Mia does die if you have to fight her there, and Ethan's not very emotional about it. He's just like, Mia, why? It's like,
why, Mia? Stab, stab, stab.
He just and she just dissolves into the grates there, and he's just like, why? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, Ethan is quite the character. He just has a wonderful vocabulary on top of his wonderful emotions and the fact that he can tank literally a bomb.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're making our way through this smelly swamp so we can head on to the last section of the game. And
anybody like fish?
I mean, I do, but not these fish. Don't make sushi out of these fish here.
Yeah, it looks delicious. What are you talking about?
But yeah, before we head on and before we proceed to the salt mines here, there is an item box and a save and all that stuff. So we do not have any items on us, but then we can go ahead and pick up everything that we had. Excuse me. And some enhanced ammo. Can pick up some enhanced ammo.
And we get the grenade launcher.
Excuse me.
That we use once.
Yeah, so what's interesting, so the grenade launcher right here, you know, it's kind of a DIY put together grenade launcher. You can get this much earlier in the game. It's actually in the main house, like in the basement. Ow. It's in the basement, and you can backtrack to get it, and you can have it, you know, throughout the Jack boss fights and all that. But no, here, we don't pick it up until the end of the game. The modern Resident Evil games are very generous, and if you happen to miss like a good weapon, they'll teleport it to the end of the game for you in case you happen to miss it.
Yeah, and that also happens in the remakes as well. Basically, if you skip like a certain item that could be used later on, the game will just give it to you.
Yeah.
You don't need to get it early. If you want to, it's there. You don't have to go through the struggle of getting it, but yeah, the game will just be like, oh yeah, there is a grenade launcher in this game. You kind of missed it, so here you go.
Yeah, in Resident Evil 2 Remake, the shotgun, like in the speedrun, you don't pick it up until the end of the game. You could pick it up in the police station much earlier, but we just wait until the end of the game and you use it for those final boss fights there. Resident Evil 3 Remake, I know the grenade launcher teleports a couple different times if you don't pick it up. I don't know that speedrun very well though.
I haven't done Resident Evil 2 or 3 Remake in quite some time.
Yeah, big same.
She's nothing like RE7.
Nah, we love RE7. Alright, so we're making our way to the salt mine here. We've encountered some molded, but you don't have to kill them. We run a minecart over them, no problem, but we don't have to kill them.
We're friendly with them, kind of, but you know, we let them live sometimes.
Now, these tissue samples that Mia had on her person earlier, you know, Ethan has it now, and we use those tissue samples to make a necrotoxin, which is essentially the cure to this mold infection here. So, we're gonna go ahead.
We only got one though.
Yeah, well, only one. We don't have two. We have one. So we're gonna go ahead and use that on Evie. We think that might do something to her.
It might. I don't know. It might do something funky. Alright, time to get a little salty. So if you don't have shotgun ammo for this section, it is quite the hellish experience trying to traverse through all the molded coming up. But Mar here is perfectly well with the 12 rounds she has. Thank goodness.
Yeah, for this section you only need about 4 or 5, depending if you you know, hit all your shots. So as long as you don't need a ton here, but just as long as you don't expend shotgun ammo before you need to and all that, you know, you'll be fine. As long as you pick them up where you're supposed to as well. We're not gonna shoot that guy.
Yeah, he's too slow. But this guy.
Ooh, God, I didn't get the headshot on him.
He was getting strugglish a little bit there, but sometimes I need 2 shots for him, so I feel that.
Yeah, he's a little weird. Yeah,
Easy.
oh, that one didn't even spawn.
Wait,
That was interesting.
what?
Sometimes,
I've never seen that. What?
yeah, sometimes in I've only had it happen in Sarah D, where some molded won't spawn. So,
He always spawns for me. What is this?
yeah, that's weird. There's 2 molded that spawned there. There was one regular molded that was supposed to spawn right in front of me, but he just didn't spawn. So, all right.
Easy walkthrough. My goodness.
We'll take it. We didn't even have to use an extra shell. So yeah,
Easy.
All right,
And
that was it.
Also, yeah, that was it. And also, that's where the only time we actually use the grenade launcher is to slow those 2 big boys.
Yeah. The round we used neuro rounds there, which are essentially like freeze rounds. They'll just kind of stun an enemy in place. Gives you enough time to get away and do what you need to. You know, we only use that 1 neuro round for those 2 guys. If you do, if you speedrun this game on Madhouse, you'll be crafting a lot of neuro rounds to defeat enemies and bosses and stuff like that. So they play a bigger role in casual playthroughs and in Madhouse speedruns. But in this speedrun, we just need 1.
Yeah, and even on Madhouse, like that section where we shoot the 2 big boys with the neuro round, we actually at Madhouse you would have to shoot bombs that are on the wall, kind of blocking your path to the ladder.
Yeah.
But on easy or normal, you don't have to deal with that at all.
Yeah. Now, we're back in the guest house. We've come full circle. We started in the guest house, we're ending in the guest house. And we're experiencing some flashbacks as well.
Evie just getting in our face a little bit here.
Yeah, so essentially this is replaying out everything that's happened in the guest house earlier. But as you see, it wasn't Mia's doing. She was being controlled by Evie this whole time. So, uh-oh, big brain.
Mm-hmm. And she's obviously not a fan of the needle. I mean, I'm not a fan of needles either, so I don't blame her.
Yeah, she does not want that necrotoxin. So, as a last resort, Evie starts throwing some hallucinations at us, but we don't mind them. We're just gonna go ahead and head on up here.
Walk right on.
Alright.
Oh, Evie. This is kind of like a pre-boss fight, I guess you can call it, where Evie's just kind of gonna do her little explodey thing. And once we get close enough, we're gonna just go ahead and use that necrotoxin.
There you go. All right.
It turns out, Evie was the grandmother all along.
Grandma? How could you?
And Grandma's hair's going crazy.
Her hair is just kind of like sticking out and going every which way, doing what it wants. Yeah, the grandma who's sitting next to us at the dinner table, the grandma who appeared a few times throughout our whole journey here, she kind of spawned at a few random points. It was Evie this whole time. Wow. Oh man, and she's melting. And she's melting. Okay. Alright, well, this is where the boss fight starts.
Yeah, and this is probably the most underwhelming boss fight of the game. I'm not gonna lie, this boss fight makes me a little disappointed just because it's the last boss fight, right? So you would think it would be something a little bit more theatrical, a little bit something where you would have to manage your inventory a little bit more, or no.
Nope.
No.
Evie, she turns big. She essentially transforms into a kraken, and you shoot some rounds into her like this, and then after that, like that's it. We have to play out through this cutscene. This is essentially an auto-scroller, so we have to sit here and wait. Like, we have the ability to, shoot her more and everything, but no amount of damage will make this part go faster. So you just sit here and you wait.
Yeah, it's just a big waiting segment. You do enough damage to her on the first half, and then the second half is just, pick me up, Grandma.
Yeah,
we're just hug.
Yeah, we're just waiting
until she finally picks us up.
Ugh.
And we're coming to time soon. Not yet, but soon.
Yep. All right.
Just do a little pew pew on her arm, and then she immediately drops us. It's wowee.
And we somehow don't take damage or die or anything, because like we said, Ethan's a tank.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure he would have been critically injured from that fall.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, we get this very special gun drop down on us. Not a rocket launcher like in other Resident Evil games. We get an Albert pistol with some special bullets. So this is our save and grace weapon right here. Alright.
Yep, and we just have to make sure we shoot her. Mar just has to shoot her specifically in certain spots, and down she goes.
And that's it. Not time. Time not yet. No time yet.
When the screen fades to black.
Yeah. When the screen fades to black, that's when it's time. But,
GG.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Kat. She does her nice little crumbling.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some hype and some love for Marphoria? That was a very wonderful, well done run. Thank you.
And
Yeah, nice.
time.
There it is.
There we go.
GG.
Thank you.
Mara, just want to say thank you for having me on. I love you, girl.
No, thank you for commentating for me, Kat. Thank you. And, you know, a few shout-outs. So shout-outs to, of course, SpeedGaming Live for having me here. You know, we're gonna do our Not a Hero run here shortly, but, you know, still do our little shout-outs. Huge shout-outs to the Resident Evil 7 community, especially my good friend Ross Rossi. He's helped me out with my runs ever since I started running. They wouldn't have been as optimized as they are now if it wasn't for his help, so thank you. Big thank you as well to Yasi as well. She's always been friendly and helped me out anytime I've needed help and been supportive. And of course, thank you to Kat, because she's always available to commentate the RE7 runs, and she's also a super talented runner as well. So thank you, Kat, for commentating this run.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right. But yeah, this cutscene plays out, and Mia, you know, she's alive and well, and she's getting healed. And yeah, good stuff. Let's go ahead. We'll skip this movie though, because you know, not much else is going on, and I know we have to get going for our incentive as well.
Yeah,
so.
Not a Hero is coming up, so we're probably gonna take a quick little break and then come back.
All right, there's the official time, 1:32:46. Not too bad.
That's pretty good.
All right, so I'll let them know that we're ready to switch over.
All right. See you guys soon.